Yeah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. My esteemed viewers of Gunjuru News Online, welcome to another edition of Daily COVID-19 Update. And today I will be discussing voluntarism, volunteering, and also the benefit, the medical benefit, the actual medical benefit. Yeah, why there is a medical benefits to volunteer, and I will give you the medical benefits. Before that, as usual, I will give you update about COVID-19. Past 7 days, no, less than 7 days, we have 1 million new cases. That's another record. As you are aware, we have this COVID-19 announced itself to the world in December 2019, and the virus originated from Wuhan province in China. And we know the virus is from bat, but from bat to where to human beings, we still don't know that gap. The whole world is still learning a lot about this virus. We at least understand a lot about it now, but there is still a lot more we don't understand about this virus. So the situation is fluid. That's why the whole world should take it seriously. And one thing also that is um, uh, um, correct is that we can play politics with this virus. We've seen the devastation that is being caused in America because of politics. We've seen the devastation this virus is causing in Brazil because of politics. Politicians decided to concentrate on the economy rather than the virus or the pandemics, and we've seen number of infection and the number of death. This virus, as I say, started in December 2019, and so far, 11 million infections, over 11 million and 526,408 deaths in 6 months. Number of people recovered is 6,210,988. This recovered population, when you have an infection like viral or bacterial infection or fungi or even a venom, and you recovered, you develop what we call in science as immunity, or in layman terms, you become resistant to that virus. But how do you develop that resistance? I'll give a brief explanation. Um, we have what we call immune system. These are body soldiers. Our bodies have soldiers, or security service, if I am to be exact. And this security service, they operate in the same system or mechanism like our security service in our governments. They have intelligence services. They have the paramilitary. They have the Marines who go there and attack. We have the intelligent gatherers, and we have what we call analyze the danger of the kind of danger that I will call security analysis. So basically, when you are infected with something, at the site of infection, there is this chemical called cytokines. The cytokines will go into overdrive. Inform part of the body what there is an attack, we need to do something. So your body will create these special program proteins called immunoglobulins. These immunoglobulins in layman terms is like marine soldiers, those who go into the warfield and fight. So these immunoglobulin will go to the site and attack. They will be lead to the infectious agent. If it is a virus like COVID-19, there are some keys, they will go there and attack it. But once they attack the virus, they will multiply, and if they overcome the virus, then they will not, the body is not going to get rid of them. They will be stored somewhere in your body, like your groins, and under your armpits and all that. This is where they will be lying in waiting. In case if you are infected with the same kind of virus, they master that. They know, we know who they are. So once you are infected with second time, the attack and the will be robust and even more quicker. So that's we call memory immunology. So once they attack and clear, that means you are resistant. So somebody who recovered have these special program proteins in their blood. So if you take their blood and spin it, take the solid material, the red blood cell is solid. So you take the red blood out and there's this yellowish liquid that is states on top. In this yellowish liquid, this is where this special program proteins are called immunoglobulin. So if you should give somebody who recovered, you give their immunoglobulin or their serum to somebody who is suffering from virus, they should be killed. And how they should be, that means you are giving them a ready-made trained soldiers to go and attack COVID-19 or any other virus. So this is why these recovered population are very important. UK have been using it for like couple of months now. And also the presence of these special program proteins are what makes you resistant. And these are what is going to be used in future to determine who should go where, who should visit which country. Like if you go to England now, you will spend 2 weeks in quarantine. And in the Gambia as well, if you go into Gambia, you will be put in quarantine where you will be regularly tested if you are resistant or not, or if you have the virus or not. You will be there for at least 2 weeks. If they don't find any virus in your system, then they will let you go. But we've seen people who go into this quarantine, first day they are tested, no virus. 1 week they are tested, no virus, but the second week they'll develop the virus. So that's the purpose. So what is going to happen? What is going to open the world now? Like right now, I should be in the Gambia, but I couldn't go because my workplace didn't even allow people to go for holidays now because there is no flight anyway. And so what is going to happen, you know, if you you have this virus and you recovered, you will go and do what they call immunological tests. These immunological tests will determine if you are resistant to COVID-19 or not. If you are resistant, they will give you a certificate that is called a recovery certificate. Then you can take this. If you travel to other countries, they will look at this. Okay, this guy didn't need a quarantine. They will let you go. And even so those who didn't have this immunity, they will advise them to go and take vaccination. These vaccinations should give you an artificial immunity against this virus. So these are recovered population also will help us understand the pathology of this virus, how it infects us, how we react to it, and how it can overcome sometimes our body defense system or immunological system and kill us. Right now, 4,347,954 are currently infected. You know, and out of that, 4,290,014, that is 99% of the active population who have COVID-19 are in mild conditions. And these mild conditions, those who are suffering from mild conditions, some of them are asymptomatic. That is, they are showing no signs of infections. How do we know they are infected? That is by testing them. Also, the other component, the other parts of these mild symptoms include headache, fever, and also persistent cough. You know, those are common symptoms, but there are some uncommon symptoms that are very rare, like loss of sense of smell or sense of taste. You know, there are some people, if they are infected with COVID-19, they cannot smell anything and they cannot taste any food, whether it's salty or sugary or whatever, they can't taste it. So that's another mild condition. And there is another symptom called COVID toe, whereby you have a scratch on top of your toes, and if you scratch them, it develops into an open wound. This is also something that is a sign of COVID-19. We have 57,940 people are seriously ill with COVID-19 right now. These seriously ill population are the ones that need hospitalized, some kind of hospitalization. And majority of them will not only need hospitalization, but they will need intensive care beds. Because what COVID-19 does, once it goes through your nose or your mouth or your eyes, it finds its way to your lungs. Once it is in your lungs, your body defense mechanism will be activated. You have what they call initially cytokines storm. These cytokines will describe them in real life for layman to understand as the intelligence of our defense mechanism, the body's defense mechanisms. They will send information to our immunological unit, so they can start manufacturing this specially programmed protein called immunoglobulin, so they can go and get rid of the virus. So this cytokine storm sometimes is so powerful that it can overwhelm our system, and sometimes this cytokine storm alone can kill people. So that's why COVID-19 is killing many people. Just, your body own defense reaction to it can be fatal. But what it does is it damages the wall of your lungs. Lungs, we know, is the gateway where when you inhale oxygen, it goes through your lungs, then it passes into your systems. So this oxygen in your system is like a petrol to car. No oxygen, you cannot do anything. So that's what your body uses as a fuel to burn your food material, so it can generate energy, so you can move about. And also, it's because of oxygen, your body can utilize that actually energy and also build your body structures like proteins. So without oxygen, no life, as simple as that. So that's why those who are seriously ill and they are taken to hospital, you see most of them are fit with ventilators. That's why in recent time there are a lot of talk about ventilators. How many ventilators do we have in the Gambia? Also, I think at the advent of COVID-19, there was no working ventilator in the Gambia, but alhamdulillah, right now we have some, because I've seen Turkish government donating Gambia some ventilators. So ventilators are critical in managing COVID-19. Up to now, there is no cure, so it's about management. If you go to hospital, they fit you with these ventilators. What ventilators does, it force concentrated oxygen, in the atmosphere. If everything is equal, nothing wrong with your lungs, you can easily extract this oxygen from the atmosphere. Like the atmosphere have 21% oxygen. So if your lungs is like 75 to 100% capacity, no problem. But anything less than that, your body cannot maintain, healthy concentration of oxygen in your system. That's where the problem comes. Because if your body cannot maintain, say, 75% oxygen concentration in your system, your vital organs like your brain, your kidneys and lung and livers will start dying off. And that's how this virus kills. So, right, I'm going to give you the top 10 most affected countries before I go to my topic today. That is volunteerism, the 7 health benefit of being a volunteer. To volunteer, give something free of your time, your resources, or whatever. America past 24 hours recorded 25,000 new cases and 323 dead. Brazil, 7,638 new cases and 314 dead. Russia recorded 6,718 and 176 dead. India recorded 20,335 and 433 dead. And Spain, 442 and 17 dead. And countries very close to the Gambia, the numbers are not looking good, and this is in line, according to the prediction WHO made three months ago, and people are saying they should stop, playing God. But these predictions are based on proper scientific research. They don't just come and sit there and give you numbers. No, epidemiology is exact science. I don't know how it works, but they have their way of predicting these numbers, and they've been doing very, very well. Of course, it's not exactly accurate, but so far what we've seen across the world, WHO has been on top of their game. They predicted that June, July is going to be crucial for Africa, and it is, especially countries are very, very close to the Gambia. We've seen the numbers spiking up. Past 24 hours, Ivory Coast recorded 290 new cases, and so far they recorded 9,992. And Senegal, past 24 hours, recorded 110 new cases, and so far they recorded 7,164. Guinea-Conakry recorded 46 new cases and 5,450. So far they recorded, and Mauritania recorded 134 new cases, and so far they recorded 4,606. And Mali recorded 58 new cases and 2,260 cases so far they recorded. And Burkina Faso so far recorded 980, and past 24 hours they recorded 13. Gambia, I think we have been crawling into these pandemics, and the numbers are not looking good, because yesterday they recorded 6 new cases. That's the highest daily record since the pandemic started, and so far Gambia number starts at at 55. As usual, this daily COVID-19 comes with a a specific topic every day. And today I'm discussing volunteerism because volunteering is brilliant. If you store it, nobody will tell you the benefit, but there are specific medical benefits I want to discuss. And in my community right now, we are calling out for volunteers, not only from Gunjur, but across the country. GDA, which is Gunjur Development Association, 3 years ago, they conceived an idea that Gunjur need a multi-purpose center where vital skills like welding, tailoring, IT, and all that sort, can be taught in Gunjur. We feel that that will reduce pressure on GTTI, and also the issue of finding a guardian in the urban areas now is very, very challenging. And also, not everybody is academically inclined, but that doesn't mean they are stupid. We are gifted differently. So why a section of the youth will go into West because academically they cannot perform, but these people have special skills that if they are given the opportunity in those areas where they are skilled, they can go on to do wonders. We've seen probably one of the richest person in the world, Tough, is a constructor. He started his trade, construction side, just take the building material and go and work. So, our education system also, I can say, needs some kind of reviewing because they're not putting emphasis on skills. So this is where GDA came in, and they charge the people, Gunjurians in the diaspora, those who want to take part in this community work can contribute 1,000 every month. That is 12,000 for Gunjurians in the diaspora and also Friends of the Gambia. And this is open to anybody who wants to help. And those on the ground, 100, that's 1,200 per year. But this was not even agreed on. We say, you know what, anybody have anything you can offer will be highly welcome, either in cash or kind. And we've seen recent times the Gunjurians, step up to the plate and start donating. Big last one was Usman Barrow, who donated 50 bags of cement, and a week before that we've seen Omar Bojang or Umo donated 2 wheelbarrows, 3 pickers, and 3 spades. We've seen people donating trips of sand and all that. But yet again, we want to give opportunity to those who cannot give in cash or kind, but they are healthy. They want to take part. They can come and volunteer on the sites. And the numbers are not great, but we are happy with the numbers, and it will be great if anybody. We've seen people coming from Serekunda, like last week. Musa Koli, one of the best first aiders out there, who trains parastatals about first aids, turn up with his entire team to take part in this voluntary work. So I'm using this opportunity. If you are watching this or you watch it after today, tomorrow work is continuing. Today the numbers are also good once again, and it's fun. It's fun. I'll tell you also, beside the fun, what you can get from the voluntary works. So as you considering volunteering, it is an important way to help individuals and communities in need. As Calvin Handbrook writes, the benefit of these altruistic acts are proven by science. So with most of us leading super busy lives, the idea of volunteering and giving your time and energy to a cause without financial reward may seem an impossible task. And I mean, how can we fit anything else into our already jam-packed schedules? People will ask, how do you do this? But just try it. This is, past 3 weeks, I have 2 of my staffs in my hospital who tested positive. And because of the increasing number of the tests we are doing, we are very, very busy. But I still manage to come here. It's voluntary. Anybody can do anything. Share your knowledge. Go and, even take a phone and call. Is volunteering. Thank you, Diamond. How are you? Yeah, so with most of us leading super busy life, the idea of volunteering and giving your time and energy to a cause without financial reward may seem an impossible task. I mean, how can we fit anything else into our already jam-packed schedules? However, Volunteering is important for many reasons and doesn't have to take up too much time. You don't have to spend 12 hours on your sites. And in fact, the benefit of volunteering are vast for the volunteer, not just the community, individual organization receiving your assistance. Indeed, it's these benefits that could partly explain the rise in popularity of volunteering over the past few years. You know, if you look in the Western world now, people know the benefit of this. We have seen how since Gunjur partner with Mogro, we've seen students coming out to come and volunteer in Gunjur. In fact, the last trip people, a group of students who are struggling mentally, in England, and they bring them to Gunjur to help volunteering to see. That was it was just a test, and you know the report. I'm not sure if it's it out. I need to go back to Dr. Nick and ask him, but he promised to share this report with me if it is out. But the impact it have on those mentally challenged students was amazing. The immediate observation they do. So during 2013, 29% of adults in UK said they had formally volunteered at least once a month. The figure in the United States is not far off at around 25%, with slightly more women volunteering than men. I'm not surprised because even in Gunjur right now, Auntie Tuklorsi want to get me into this debate that more women are coming, you know, than men. But generally, we have to be honest, you know, women's, you know, they are more readily, you know, to give than, you know, than men in anything, you know, be it their resources, their time. And unfortunately, this is what our politicians, they prey on, and you know they give them nothing in returns. So, but promisingly, an increasing number of these people are young adults. In the UK, of course, unfortunately, most of the figures I'm going to give here are from UK, Gambia. We don't record. If we record, is very difficult to access. You cannot find them. So figures though that in the UK, figures shows that this is 2003, 2013, long time ago, shows that 2.9 million in the 16 to 25-year-old age group volunteer during 2015, compared to 1.8 million in 2010. That's a whopping 50% increase in 5 years. So I want to see these numbers replicated in the Gambia. The power of kindness. So why the interest in volunteering? The Greek philosopher Aristotle once said that the essence of life is to serve others and do good. Could you imagine? I need to highlight it. And it seems an increasing number of us are starting to wake up and see why volunteering is important. People are starting to understand how serving and help each other and different communities benefit not just others, but ourselves too. Why is volunteering important? Volunteering is important as it offers essential help to worthwhile causes, people in need, and the wider community. Indeed, many organizations and charities rely on generosity of volunteers as they only part funded through government or local councils and cannot afford to pay salaries for all their staffs. In fact, yeah, that's what this GDA physical side of work is all about, is to give people opportunity to also contribute physically, while at the same time also it will help us save money and put it into other areas. So that's why it's important if you are in Gunjul, rather than spend 12 hours of your time at the booth, you know, this is a good way of doing it. You know, just 2 days ago, you know, these kids kill each other in Sukuta because, you know, if you waste time, you become bored, you become disorientated, you become moody. But if you go and engage in something essential, is really good for your mind, as you will say when I come to the actual benefits of volunteering. So, in fact, many companies depend mostly upon teams of volunteers to help them thrive and do their work. I mentioned a practical example of that as Gunjul Mobra Link. These people built classrooms over 30 years. They built gardens. So what are the benefits of volunteering? Of course, the benefit of volunteering for those receiving help are clear. Whether it is providing kids in a third world country with free English classes or later picking from your local beach, the benefits later picking from your local beach, we've seen what the kids, the Gunjuri youths movement are doing, planting coconut at their own cost, watering them, and also cleaning. Recently we've seen they've been to the health center, they clean it, the market, and also they went to local prayer grounds, prayer houses to clean them. So the benefit to the receiver and the wider community are usually part of the reason why you decide to volunteer in the first place. But did you realize how important voluntary could be for the person doing it? That's the purpose of this presentation. Why do we need to volunteer? If you volunteer, what are the benefits? Not to who you give to, but you, the giver. The benefit of volunteering to the volunteer. In fact, volunteering is beneficial to the doer for a whole host of reasons, including stress reductions, combating depression, and providing a sense of purpose. If you enjoy, if you give, it gives you that feel good factor, which is a stress buster. It can reduce depression, and also you feel important, that you give something to somebody. Volunteering is important as it offers essential help to worldwide causes, people in need, and the wider community. And while studies do show that the more you volunteer, the more benefit you will experience. And volunteering doesn't have to involve a long-term commitment. Even giving in simple ways can help those in need and improve your overall health and happiness. So let's take a closer look at just why volunteering is so important, with 7 key benefits of this altruistic act. So the 7 benefits of volunteering I'm going to give you in the next few slides. I hope I can do this. Wow, I run out of time already, but I'll just finish this. Volunteering connects you with others. If you are feeling lonely, isolated, or simply want to widen your social circle, volunteering in your local community is an important and often fun way to meet new people. In fact, one of the best ways to make new friends and strengthen existing relationships is to commit to share an activity together, and volunteering lets you do that. Just this particular point, somebody proved this in our forum. He came, he said, well, last week I've been there. In fact, this week I'm going to cook, but when I'm going to market, I will pass by because the place is beautiful. You meet people, it's fun. She said that even before I go into this research. So loneliness is not good. If you are lonely, the Satan at you, it's depressing. It's damage your mood. Why volunteering is important benefits in loneliness. I'm going to this. Volunteering is an important connection tool. You meet people, and also to this particular point again, I'm going to buttress from an experience from our last week volunteering. I told you earlier in the presentation, Musa Koli is one of the leading first aiders in the Gambia. He trained people for us in Gunjur on, I think, 2 occasions. In fact, this year we're supposed to have him again, but because of this pandemic, he didn't come. Musa is out of work now because of the COVID-19. He cannot go and train people. But he saw this advert in social media that Gunjur Development Association asking for help in their proposed community development side. He don't tell anybody. He just mobilized his staff, put them in the car, drive to Gunjur, and start digging. After the event, what Mama Kadi told me, one of the coordinators on the ground, is that if you are involved in this kind of work, you cross paths with very, very good people, fantastic people. And he told me this, Musa, I met him for the first time, but he's a brilliant guy. And that's just a practical example of what I'm telling. Volunteering is an important connection tool. It makes you connect with other people. Some of these could be fantastic role in your life, as life goes. So if you are recently moved to a new city, for example, or a country, Volunteering is an important and easy way to meet new people, and it also strengthens your ties to that local community and broadens your support network. So furthermore, it connects you to people who have common interests and passion and who could go on to become great friends. So relate older friend, why everybody should have at least one age gap friendship. In fact, volunteering is an important and interesting way to meet people who might not normally connect with you. People from different age groups, ethnicity, or social groups. Because volunteer is open to everyone, it allows you to meet wide variety of people from all sorts of walk of life, something that can only open your eyes further. Number two, the second number two benefit of volunteering. Volunteering builds self-confidence and self-esteem. It's make leaders. I've seen that in our youths. Like Gunjur youths and Gunjur development, and also we have our Gunjur beach youths. Watch out for this group. Today they are having a meeting with our Alcalo. So doing good for others and the community help to create a natural sense of accomplishment. And working as a volunteer can also give you a sense of pride and identity, helping to build your self-confidence further by taking you out of your natural comfort zone and environment. So indeed, volunteering helps you feel better about yourself, which you can then take back to your regular routine, helpfully creating a more positive view of your own life and future goals. So if you are struggling with your self-confidence, volunteering is one thing you can get in. And self-confidence is very important. Without self-confidence, you can't do nothing. You can't initiate anything. So if you are struggling with your self-confidence, please go and find something to do for other people. So if you are shy or fearful or new experiences, culture and travel, volunteering overseas could be an important and insightful way to help you build self-confidence in this area, not forgetting the other benefit of this type of volunteering, a chance to see a bit of the world at the same time. This might be beyond the reach of many Gambians, but there are a lot of ways we can contribute in our community. So research shows that voluntary could be partially useful and important in boosting the self-esteem and confidence of adolescents who are just starting out on their way, on their life journey. So a study which was conducted in Missouri Brigham in Young University that include almost 700 people, that is 11 to 14-year-old, examined how sharing, helping, and comforting others affected their self-confidence. The study found that altruistic behavior may indeed raise teens' feeling of self-worth, and that adolescents who assist teenagers as strangers reported high self-esteem. So these are not just something, right, but they are scientific research which are back in these evidences. So if you are feeling lonely or simply want to widen your social circle, volunteering in social local communities is an important and fun and way to meet people. And National Youth Agency report seems to corroborate this evidence. In its young people aged 11 to 25 repeatedly state that voluntary has increased their self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-belief. The self-confidence boost was shown to be strongly linked to improved communication, especially among young volunteers who were previously nervous about needing people. So number three, voluntary is important for physical health. You see people, women, I was teasing that I don't want to see a woman with the spits and all that. I was just joking. This is good for them. Maybe if without that, they wouldn't even have the opportunity to or think about going and exercise. And without exercise, your health, lack of exercise damage health. And also not only your physical health, but your mental health. So interestingly, volunteering has distinct health benefit that can boost your mental and perhaps more surprisingly, physical health. So indeed, a growing body of evidence suggests that people who give their time to others might benefit from lower blood pressure and longer lifespan. Wow. So volunteers, you should rush to this GDA website, So this one, again, a study in 1999 helping out at 2 or more organizations had a 63% lower mortality rate than non-volunteers. And more recent research from Carnegie Mellon University found that adults over 50 who volunteer regularly were less likely to develop high blood pressure, hypertension compared to non-volunteers. So hypertension, which is very, very endemic in the Gambia, on the whole, by volunteering, you can reduce your chances of getting diabetes by almost 54. Wow, this is amazing. Hypertension is an important indicator of health as it contributes to stroke, heart disease, and premature deaths. So the fourth benefit of volunteering, that is mental health. When it comes to volunteering being important for mental health, the benefits are clear. It can help volunteers, it can help counteract the effect of stress, depression, and anxiety. Indeed, the social conduct as well helping others can have a profound effect on your overall psychological well-being. So to go out there and help people, it boosts your immunity and it gives you the opportunity to interact with people. You might go, you're feeling moody, on your own, but you go there, you find, somebody really funny who doesn't take themselves seriously and boosts your mood. And these can prevent you from stress, depression, and anxiety, which are all ingredients for serious mental breakdown. So volunteering keeps you in a regular contact with others and help you develop a solid support system, which in turn combat against feeling of loneliness and depressions. So volunteering with animals has also been shown to improve mood, reducing stress and anxiety. So definitely going out there and help, didn't only bring you into contact with people, but it's good for your mental health. We mentioned the physical health benefits. It can cut your chances of getting depression and also hypertension and other lifestyle-related illnesses. So finally, voluntary boosts health, mental health simply because it makes you happy. The so-called help us hide. Humans beings are hardwired to give to others. We are naturally inclined to give to others. So if by measuring so-called brain activity and happiness hormones, researchers have found that being helpful to others can deliver great pleasure. It's really, really random act of kindness. This is a 2008 story from London School of Economics, examined the relationship between volunteering and happiness in a large group of American adults. The researchers found that the more people volunteered, the happier they were. Compared with people who never volunteered, the odds of being very happy rose even 7% among those who volunteer monthly and 12% for those who volunteer every 2 to 4 weeks. So, if you want to be happy in life, it's not about money, it's not about a happy marriage, or you just go out there and volunteer and give something to some group of people or whatever, be it work, be it money. Just voluntary, it makes you really happy in life. So number 5, volunteering is important for a sense of purpose, because volunteering means choosing to work without receiving monetary compensation. People often choose to give their time to issues or organizations and they feel important or have a special connection to. And this is clearly stated in the Quran. Almighty Allah said, I think Surah Al-Ma'idah, I can't remember the chapter, but you cannot call yourself Mu'min if you cannot volunteer things that are dear to you. And there is nothing dearer to human beings than free time. Your time, give your time to, and there is nothing dear to human being than your money, giving out your money voluntarily without expecting anything. But these have serious health benefit, both physical and mental health. For example, if you are a big animal lover and you want to volunteer at a pet shelter, or perhaps you are living with or have recovered from an illness and want to dedicate some of your spare time to a charity that helps others living with same condition, volunteering like this help address a social problem that is meaningful to you, and in turn help to build a sense of purpose which further boosts your happiness. When it comes to volunteering being important for mental health, the benefits are clear. It can help contract the effect of stress, depression, and anxiety. You can try voluntary at any age to help build a sense of purpose, but it's often particularly common in older adults, those that have retired or maybe lost a partner or a friend. Whenever your age of this your age of life story, voluntary can help important techniques help give you life and new meanings in directions. So the 6 benefits of volunteering, volunteering help you forget your own problems. You can be depressed, you're having problem with loved ones, go out there and try giving out. Like go out to, I've seen people talking, off the cuff, forum, talking about their experience about going to this work site in GDA. So if you are in Gunjur, and tomorrow is weekend, work is continuing, you feeling moody overnight, whatever, just go and you'll see the practical benefit of this. So voluntary help you forget your own problems. One other benefit of voluntary is that focusing on others can give us a deeper sense of perspectives and help distract us from negative thoughts and help stop rumination. Volunteering often help often involve helping those in need and can be useful in showing us that, in fact, our own life are not as bad as we thought they were. So if you are on your own all the time, you think the world stops around you and you think you are bottom of the ladder. But going out there can give you that sense of perspective that, what, my situation might not be as bad as I thought. So the final point about the benefit of volunteering is volunteering is important for one's career in an increasingly competitive job market. Volunteering experience can be incredibly useful. You can put this on your CV. If you go to interviews now, the companies, these are some of the qualities they look for. How much this guy can sacrifice. If it you have a CV which says I volunteer this, I volunteer, they say, what, this is just the kind of people we need. He did this without expecting a pay, and we're going to pay them. So they will know that this guy is already motivated, highly motivated. So volunteering is important for one's career. So it shows potential employers that you can take initiative and that you are willing to give your own time to improve the world for the people. Furthermore, volunteering gives you the opportunity to practice important common skills used in the workplace, such as communication, teamwork, problem solving, planning, and organizations. Indeed, if you haven't had a full-time job before, then volunteering is an essentially way to improve your skills when you go for other interviews. So guys, that's the end of this important presentation I have for you today. Volunteering has medical benefit, both physical and mental health benefits. So we should all try at all times and give something back to the community. Thank you all for your time, and I'll be grateful if you can share this video so it can get to as many people as you can. And once again, I announce to you tomorrow, work will continue at GDA proposed multi-purpose center in Gunjur in Jali Suru. You can miss it. It's like not far from the main highway. Hajo Jara Johnson, you ask anybody Hajo Jara Johnson, they will tell you where that is. Go there and spend time with people, fantastic people there. The atmosphere is great, and they serve beautiful pancake there as well, and it's fun. You look on my wall today, I share some pictures from this. I wish I'm there. I wish I'm there. I wish I'm there. So I believe these presentations should encourage you not only to go volunteer at GDA's worksite, but also to volunteer in your community. There are so many ways we can do. Wasting time is not good for anybody. It's not good for your mental and physical health. So we should always find something to give, be it our free time, be it our earnings and all that. It makes this world a better place. Thank you all for your time. I really appreciate it. Allah Barakah.